Table read, rooms of experience.
That was
Now
terrible.
let's do it with a little
Terrible.
pretend like you're excited that you're here on a Saturday.
Terrible.
Here we go. 1, 2, 3.
Table read, rooms of experience.
Now that's
Rooms of Experience by Steffany Sommers. Fade in. Exterior Children's Hospital, day. Flashback 8 years prior. People stride in and out through the automatic doors of the brightly colored building on a sunny spring day. Graceful willows line the walk. Dana, 30, attractive, long hair tied back in a loose, messy braid, dressed simply in jeans and a t-shirt, walks a few feet out of the doors, stops mid-step, her face tight with stress. People stream past her, around her. A nurse pushes a wheelchair with a woman and her newborn towards a car waiting at the curb. A man beams alongside. As they pass Dana, a tiny pink and blue hat falls on the ground in front of her. Her gaze lands on the hat. She breathes heavy. Something weighs on her, then walks faster toward the parking lot, the hat left abandoned on the cement. Exterior parking lot, day. Dana reaches her car, grabs the door handle. A sob almost escapes her lips, but she fights it back, wrenches the door open, gets in the driver's seat. Fade 2. Interior Dana's car, moving, present day. Dana, impeccably dressed, expertly made up, hair in a tight bun, drives down a crowded city street. Wiper blades thump away rain from her windshield. Turns into a parking garage, deftly parks in her spot. Exits the car, a chirp of the alarm, her heels click on the cement, her actions smooth and controlled. Interior Office of the District Attorney, day. Dana enters from the street, drops a wet umbrella and a stand by the door, heads down the hall. Interior Dana's office, day. Dana opens the door, which reads Dana Jeffries, Assistant District Attorney, Homicide. Hangs her purse on a coat rack in the corner, takes a seat at her desk, grabs mail from her inbox, sifts through the mail, gets to a baby blue envelope, stops. Stares at it, runs her finger over the handwriting on the front, contemplates the letter opener on her desk. Her desk phone rings, startles her. She opens a bottom desk drawer, throws the envelope on top of several other envelopes in the same color with the same handwriting, reaches for the phone. Exterior Ada's backyard, night. Ada, elderly, close to 90, but trim and well put together, stands on the lawn in the dark, illuminated by a small shaft of light from a bulb above the sliding glass door to the house. She holds a yellow balloon gently to her chest. There is the rumble of thunder in the distance. She closes her eyes and opens her arms, lets the balloon float up into the night sky. Opens her eyes and looks up, watches the balloon disappear, then turns and goes inside. Drops of rain fall on the cement. Exterior residential street, night. Drops of rain beat against the asphalt, reflect the streetlights. The click of a phone being answered.
911 operator, where is your emergency?
Silence.
Hello? 911? Is anyone there?
My son is dead.
The wail of a siren heard in the distance. Exterior Ada's house, night. A coroner's van approaches, stops in front. An ambulance and 2 police cars, lights flashing, are already on the scene. This is a well-kept but older middle-class suburban neighborhood. All of the homes appear to have been renovated or upgraded except for this one. It appears frozen in time. The front door is open, lights ablaze against the night sky. Officers move about. Neighbors peer out their windows. Some step out on porches to see what's going on. Interior Ada's house, bedroom, night. The body of a man, Teddy, 60s, dressed in pajamas, lies dead on the bed in a sparsely furnished room. Nothing in the room looks out of order or unusual, except that every inch of wall space is tacked with abstract drawings. There's a folded cloth and a length of plastic tubing on a nightstand. A tank of helium stands next to it. CSI 1 takes pictures, while CSI 2 catalogs evidence. Detective Curtis, 50s, pokes his head in, looks at the drawings.
Quite the art collection. How's it going?
Just finishing up.
The detective nods. Interior Ada's living room, night. All the furniture is 50 or 60 years old, with the exception of a laptop computer on a small desk in the corner. The walls are covered in shelves filled with hundreds of neatly arranged books. Detective Curtis enters from the hall, surveys the room, steps over to the books, pulls out a title, Yoga for Healthy Aging and Longevity. Scoffs, places it back on the shelf. Notices an upright piano, crosses to it, tinkles a few keys, walks into the kitchen. Interior Ada's kitchen, night. Ada sits at the table with a uniformed officer. Another officer stands in the background. Ada still wears daytime clothes. Her hands are folded in her lap. She stares straight ahead. Detective Curtis takes a seat next to her. There is mail on the table. He picks up an envelope, looks at the name.
Mrs. Wells?
Yes.
Are you the owner of this home?
She nods.
Mrs. Wells, can you tell me who else lives here with you?
Just my son.
And is that your son in the bedroom?
Uh-huh.
Has anyone else been in your home this evening that you're aware of?
No.
Mrs. Wells, there's a tank of helium in your son's bedroom. Do you know anything about that?
She still does not look at the detective.
We have it for the balloons. Teddy likes to let them go outside. The yellow ones are his favorite. He thinks it's like the sunrise.
Detective Curtis and the seated officer exchange glances.
Mrs. Wells, do you have any family in the area? Is there anyone we could call for you?
She finally looks straight at him, takes in his face for a moment before she answers.
They're gone. Everyone is gone. It's just Teddy and me. Has been for years. For as long as I can remember, really.
Hey, excuse me for a moment, ma'am.
He stands up, motions to the standing officer. They walk out of the kitchen into the hallway. Interior Ada's front hallway, continuous. Detective Curtis and the officer stand by the open front door.
Alzheimer's? Possibly. What do we know about the son?
The CSIs enter from the bedroom. CSI 1 exits out the front door.
We're done. You can sit in the wagon.
Suicide?
Probably. Those signs of a struggle, the tank of helium, popular with the final exit crowd. The artwork is a bit curious, though.
Well, mental illness, maybe. Mom appears to have dementia. Could run in the family.
Maybe taking care of her was just too much of a burden. Surprised it wasn't murder-suicide.
CSI 2 shrugs, steps aside for the coroner to enter.
Ready for me?
Yeah, back this way.
The officer leads the coroner away. Detective Curtis pulls a piece of gum from his pocket, steps out the front door. Exterior Ada's house, porch, continuous. Detective Curtis notices some commotion as GINA, 50s, hurries up the walk. She's obviously been woken up in the middle of the night. Officer 2 is close behind her as she heads towards Detective Curtis.
Ma'am, you cannot be here. This is a potential crime scene. I'm going to have to ask you to leave immediately.
She looks back at the officer.
Crime scene? Oh my God, what happened? Are Ada and Teddy all right?
He indicates to the officer he will handle this, pulls out his notepad.
Detective Curtis, ma'am. Are you family?
No, I'm their neighbor.
And what is your name, please?
Gina Gordon. Where's Ada?
Ada, that's Mrs. Wells, the elderly female occupant of this residence.
Yes, is she all right?
She is all right. She's inside.
Gina calms somewhat, is more willing to talk.
What did the officer mean by crime scene then?
How long have you known Mrs. Wells?
Since I was a little girl. I grew up in the house across the street.
And where do you live now?
Still there. I left and then I moved back after my divorce to take care of my parents before they died. My mother used to check in on her, and now I do.
So Mrs. Wells has been ill for some time?
Ill? What do you mean? Ada's not ill.
Then why was her son taking care of her?
What? No. Teddy's not taking care of Ada. Ada takes care of him. She has his whole life. He has autism.
The drawings, right. Autism. Do you think that would have led him to commit suicide?
No. Teddy wouldn't commit suicide. He can't even talk. Oh my God. Where's Ada?
Pushes past him, runs into the house.
Ada!
Interior Ada's kitchen. Night. Gina rushes in, sees Ada at the table, kneels down in front of her, takes her hands. Detective Curtis follows, stands in the doorway.
Ada, Ada, honey, what happened? Are you all right? What happened to Teddy?
We're gonna need to take Mrs. Wells to the station.
GINA stands up as if to shield her.
Now? In the middle of the night? What is wrong with you? She's 89 years old.
The coroner wheels the body past the kitchen towards the front door. Ada does not react. There's complete silence, except for the wheels of the gurney squeaking on the floor.
It looks like we have a few more questions for Mrs. Wells.
Exterior Ada's house, night. Detective Curtis escorts Ada down the walkway towards an unmarked car. GINA, close behind, punches buttons on a cell phone.
Ada, it's going to be okay. I'm calling a friend of mine. She's a lawyer. We'll meet you at the station. Do not answer any more questions until we get there.
The detective assists Ada into the back seat of the car, shuts the door. GINA yells at him, phone pressed to her ear.
You ought to be ashamed of yourself.
I'm just doing my job, ma'am.
He gets into the driver's seat, shuts the door. Interior police station, interview room, night. Ada sits at a table, coughs into a handkerchief. Detective Curtis stands nearby.
Would you like some water, Mrs. Wells?
She nods. He pours a glass of water from a pitcher, hands it to her.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You've taken care of your son for a long time, haven't you?
Yes.
It must have been very difficult for you all alone like that.
She opens her mouth to respond, then remembers.
GINA said I should wait until the lawyer gets here.
He takes a seat next to her.
Yeah, sure. But you don't have to say anything. You're not under arrest. We're just trying to understand what happened tonight. The sooner we can sort it out, the sooner we can all go home.
She speaks plainly, almost monotone, still in shock.
I'm not senile.
He casually reaches up a hand, indicates to start recording.
No, of course not. No one thinks that.
I didn't lose my mind. I knew what I was doing.
You mean when you killed your son?
I wanted his last day to be with me at home, peaceful.
Anyone would want that. Where did you get the helium?
The party store delivers it. We get a tank every other week or so. Teddy loves his balloons.
And how did you know to use helium to kill your son?
I read about it on the internet. It said it would be fast and painless. I didn't want him to suffer.
And were you trying to make it look like suicide?
A knock on the door. Detective Curtis rises to answer it, steps halfway out into the hallway. A uniformed officer whispers something to him. Detective Curtis leans back in.
Excuse me for a moment, ma'am.
The door clicks behind him. Interior Detective Curtis's cubicle, night. Alexis, early 50s, a force to be reckoned with. Energy radiates from her even at this hour. Stands next to GINA. Detective Curtis approaches, smiles when he sees Alexis.
Alexis Martinez. Counsel for Mrs. Wells, I presume.
Does she need representation?
Well, she did just confess.
In that case, I'd like to know why my client was being questioned without me.
Well, she wasn't under arrest. We were just having a friendly chat.
At 4 o'clock in the morning? I'm taking her home.
Oh, I'm afraid I can't let you do that.
Why not? I thought you said she wasn't under arrest.
She wasn't when we were talking, but now that she's confessed to murder, I simply can't let her walk out of here.
Yes, heaven forbid an 89-year-old woman with no passport and no car who's barely stepped foot outside of her home in 6 decades should be out roaming the streets. Thank God you boys are keeping us safe from the likes of Ada Wells.
She looks around. Several cops mill about, not doing much of anything except eating and drinking coffee.
I would have confessed too to get the hell out of here. I'm taking her home. She's not a danger to you or anyone else. We'll be back in the morning.
9 a.m.
11.
She can't go home. It's an active crime scene.
GINA steps forward.
She can stay with me.
See? There? All settled.
And I am holding you responsible, Ms. Martinez.
I think I can handle it. Now please release my client.
He walks away, smiles as he hears Alexis call out.
Friendly chat my ass.
Exterior GINA's house, night. GINA's car pulls into the driveway. She exits, helps Ada. Ada looks across the street at her own house until GINA gently ushers her inside. Interior GINA's dining room, day. Alexis and Ada sit at the table. GINA sets out mugs, pours coffee.
GINA told me a little of your story on the way to the station last night. Taking care of your son by yourself and barely leaving the house for all those years. I can't even imagine. That kind of isolation, the effects on the psyche, You're an incredible woman, Ada.
She takes a drink, thinks.
I'm not certain which way the DA is going to go with this, but based on your, please forgive me, advanced age and the circumstances, I really can't see them pushing to prosecute this. So we'll talk to the nice officers and get you released on your own recognizance until we can get the charges dismissed. I don't want you to worry. Everything will be taken care of.
I want to have a trial.
Why would you want to do that?
Teddy was smart and beautiful and gifted, but he couldn't take care of himself. I didn't want anyone to think after all those years I finally just snapped. That's not what happened. It's important to me that people know he was my son, and I loved him.
Alexis tries to think of an argument.
Okay, Ada. I promise you'll get to tell your story, but you should know this is the kind of case people like to use as a soapbox. If we go to trial, it could be very difficult for you.
I'm not worried about difficult.
Alexis nods, gives Ada's hand a squeeze. Interior Dana's office, day. Dana types on her laptop at her desk. Her assistant pokes her head in.
Harvey is asking for you.
Dana pulls out a compact from the top drawer of her desk, unnecessarily checks her appearance. Not a hair is out of place. Interior District Attorney Harvey Davis's office, day. The inner door is open. Dana knocks lightly.
You wanted to see me, sir?
Harvey, mid-60s, all business, exudes authority, waves Dana in.
Dana, come in, have a seat.
She perches lightly on the edge of the chair across from him.
How's homicide treating you?
Well, it's very well, actually. I enjoy the challenge.
Good, good.
He peers intently at her. She shifts slightly in her seat.
Nice job on the Hansen case.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate that.
2 for 2 in this department. Not bad. You're already earning a formidable reputation.
Thank you.
Think you're ready for something a little more high profile?
She sits up even straighter, if that's possible.
Absolutely.
He pulls out a file from a desk drawer, drops it with a thud on the desk in front of her.
Glad to hear that because I'm giving you the Wells case. Carter will second chair.
The Wells case? I thought that was going through elder abuse.
Not anymore. The case is gaining ground since a disability rights group got wind of it.
She flips through the file, takes out a picture of Ada, holds it up, studies it.
Disability rights? How so?
The son had autism, so they're calling it open season on the disabled, accusing society and the justice system of devaluing people who are differently abled. It's looking to get political. Too many photo ops not to.
Turns his computer screen for Dana to see. Close on screen. Article headline reads, Disability Rights Forefront of Murder Case.
It's only my 3rd homicide, and I don't have any political aspirations. With all due respect, sir, why would you choose me?
A female prosecutor sits better on this one. The defendant's 89 years old. We don't want to look completely heartless. We're already up against the sympathy vote. Kendra's tied up with the Carruthers case, and Lauren's about to go out on maternity leave. That leaves you. You look good, you speak well. Just be sure to brush up on your sound bites.
So, I'm getting the case by default? Not because I'm the most qualified.
He shrugs as an admission.
There's always a chance it won't be a win for you. But relax, it'll be fine. At least you have a confession.
Alexis breezes in, waves a document in the air.
Speaking of confessions,
Harvey throws his hands up.
Counselor, do come in.
Alexis brushes imaginary lint off his jacket. He tolerates it.
Harvey, always a pleasure. I can hardly believe I left all this behind.
Dana, meet Alexis Martinez, opposing counsel and former ADA. Sadly, she defected long before you arrived.
Not fast enough. Pleasure.
She offers her hand to Dana. They shake, then she immediately hands Dana the document.
Motion to suppress your confession.
Harvey and Dana speak simultaneously.
On what grounds?
Alexis ignores Dana, speaks directly to Harvey.
A frail, elderly lady who wasn't properly Mirandized being questioned without a lawyer in the middle of the night? Come on.
She wasn't under arrest at the time, as I understand it.
Seriously? I can't believe you even filed this in the first place. A murder charge? And to place her in custody? I knew you were ruthless, but this is over the top even for you.
We represent the people, Alexis. You know that. They talk, we have to listen. Murder is murder, no matter who commits it.
Oh, please. Save it for the reporters. That's not true, and you know it.
She whirls around to Dana.
At any rate, there's something I'd like you to see. Are you free for a bit?
Dana looks at Harvey, who shrugs.
Despite outward appearances, she's relatively harmless.
Nice to see you too, Harvey.
She strides out, does not wait for Dana, who grabs the file off the desk, scrambles after her. Exterior Ada's house, day. Alexis and Dana pull up in separate cars. Yellow crime scene tape hangs limply from one side of the front door frame. Alexis strides up the walk without looking back at Dana, pulls out a key, unlocks the door, enters. Dana follows. Interior Ada's front hallway, day. The house is dark. Alexis moves towards the living room.
This way.
Interior living room, continuous. An old movie projector sits on a small table between two upholstered chairs. A screen is pulled down over the fireplace. Alexis crosses to the sliding glass door, flings open the curtains, light floods in. Dana blinks to adjust her eyes.
Alexis, is that you? Sorry, I locked the door behind me. I wasn't sure how long I'd be, and there were reporters nosing around here this morning.
She emerges from the bedroom hallway with a stack of clothing. Dana spins around.
Excuse me, who are you?
Dana, GINA. GINA, this is the prosecutor who's trying to convict Ada of murder.
GINA narrows her eyes, takes a step towards Dana.
This is a crime scene. You can't be in here.
So I've heard. I came over to grab a few of Ada's things. For when she's released tomorrow.
Okay. I'll see you at the courthouse in the morning.
Okay.
She leaves with a parting glance at Dana. Alexis crosses to one of the bookshelves, pulls out several volumes.
Dr. Atkins' age-defying diet, how to live longer and feel better, neuroendocrine theory of aging, life extension, meditation is medicine, reversing human aging.
She steps up to Dana, dumps the books in her arms.
What is all this?
She struggles to keep the books from slipping, looks around for somewhere to put them down, then gives up, sets them on the floor just before they fall.
Ada Wells' attempt to outlive her son. The kitchen is full of supplements, DHEA, CoQ10, resveratrol, stuff I can't even pronounce. She's not a murderer, Dana. Look around this house. Books, vitamins, exercise equipment. She did everything she could to make sure she would always be here to take care of him. Teddy lived his whole life here. This is all he ever knew.
She closes the curtains partway, turns on the projector. Black, scratchy lines snake across the screen. The film is very old. Home movies of Teddy as a child appear.
She recorded some of this because she thought it might be useful one day. She hoped there would finally be a doctor who could properly diagnose Teddy and help him.
Insert. Grainy footage shows 5-year-old Teddy in various stages of distress, hitting his head against the wall, screaming uncontrollably, lining up objects, flapping his arms, hitting his ears. A young Ada is seen in some of the shots. Through it all, she remains calm, does her best to soothe her son. Back to scene. Alexis stays silent for a moment while Dana watches the film.
Can you imagine trying to cope with this all alone? All but cut off from the rest of society? Trying desperately to help your child when no one else could tell you what was wrong with him, telling you instead that your best hope was to just lock him away? After all those years on her own, how would she know who to call or where to go for help?
Dana remains fixed on the screen.
She barely even recognizes the outside world anymore. Do you have any idea of the unrelenting stress she must have experienced every single day of her life?
Close on movie screen, young Ada holds little Teddy tightly, rocks him as silent tears stream down her face.
Drop the charges. She's been through enough. Prosecuting this woman does not serve anyone.
Dana's eyes don't leave the screen.
The media's already all over this. People will want justice.
Justice? Put yourself where she's been for even a moment. Imagine this was your life. Imagine he was your child. Think of all the heartbreak, the struggling, the guilt she must have felt. Where's the justice in that?
Dana flips off the projector, faces her.
We're not in court, Mrs. Martinez. Save your argument for the jury. She could have walked away. She didn't have to kill him.
Then make a deal.
No. No deals. She had a choice. There's always a choice.
You're not a mother, are you?
Turns the projector back on.
Why don't you watch a little longer and then tell me what her choice was? I'll be expecting your call.
Her heels click on the way out. Dana watches the screen, then looks around the house, takes it all in. Fumbles to turn off the projector, rushes out of the house. Exterior Ada's house, continuous. Dana stumbles down the front steps, blinks in the bright sun, takes deep breaths of air. Directly across the street, GINA holds a garden hose, waters her front lawn. Dana sees her, immediately collects herself, walks quickly to her car. She grabs her door handle, pulls her hand back. The car drips with water. She looks over at GINA, who shrugs slightly and turns away. Interior Dana's house, foyer, day. Dana enters through the front door, hangs her purse and keys on a wall hook. Her cell buzzes with an incoming call. She looks at the screen. It reads, Mom's cell. She disconnects the call, lets out a deep exhale. Interior Dana's living room, continuous. Dana's boyfriend, Ethan, mid-30s, looks like he would immediately be your best friend, as relaxed and easygoing as Dana is controlled, watches ESPN on a split-screen TV, a laptop open next to him. He looks up as Dana comes in.
Hey, babe. You're home early. What a nice surprise.
Looks like you're in the middle of an article. Don't let me interrupt.
Gives him a quick kiss, ready to head off, but he grabs her, pulls her in his lap.
You're a very welcome interruption.
Kisses her longer, slower. They break apart. She looks as though she wants to say something.
Everything okay?
Yeah, fine. I just got some case stuff in my head and I need to work it out. I'm gonna go change for a run.
She disappears down the hallway towards the bedroom.
Do you want to go out after, or I can order in?
In would be better.
Chinese? Oh, maybe Greek? There's that new place that opened up downtown. I grabbed the menu the other day. It should be around here somewhere.
He rummages through a basket under the coffee table.
You decide.
Or would you rather do sushi? Unless you had it for lunch.
Dana emerges from the hallway in running clothes, gym shoes in hand.
You know, anything is fine. I'll be back later. Just go ahead and order if you get hungry.
No, I'll wait for you. It tastes better when you're here.
She gives a little laugh, shakes her head, moves towards the front door. Halfway there, she stops, turns back around.
You're probably better than I deserve. You know?
I love you too. Have a good run.
She blows him a kiss. Exterior city street, moving, day. Dana runs, drenched in sweat and near exhaustion. Rounding a corner, she enters a crowded park, turns on the speed, gives it everything she has. A soccer ball rolls into her path. She swerves to avoid it, missteps, falls to the dirt. A boy, 10, has a prosthetic leg, runs over to claim the ball.
Sorry, lady. Are you okay?
She nods, hands the boy the ball, watches him run off. His prosthesis doesn't hinder him at all. Interior Dana's home office, night. Dana sits at her desk with a glass of wine, types on a laptop. Close on Dana's screen as she types in autism. The screen instantly fills with thousands of results. She clears it and types in Down syndrome. The top bar of the results shows pictures of children and adults with the disorder. Dana stares at the screen, absently chews a fingernail. Sound of footsteps in the hall.
Hey, babe, do you want to watch something?
She looks towards the door, her hand hovering to close the laptop if necessary, calls out.
Yeah, that sounds nice. I'll be right there.
Ethan sticks his head in. She keeps her hand over the screen.
Do you want some popcorn?
Sure.
2 minutes. Don't make me come back and get you. You worked long enough today.
I promise.
He leaves. She looks back at the screen, clicks it off, finishes her wine. Interior courtroom, day. Ada, dressed in jailhouse clothes, stands with Alexis at the defense table, Dana across from them, the judge at the bench. Ada looks drawn, coughs intermittently. GINA sits behind the defense table.
The court has recorded the defendant's plea of not guilty. I assume, Ms. Jeffries, you have feelings about bail?
Will the state request remand, Your Honor?
Your Honor, as Miss Wells is neither a danger to herself nor to society and has limited means, we ask that she be released on her own recognizance. Remand is completely unwarranted, not to mention punitive on the part of the state.
Your Honor, the defendant did take the life of her own child. The people are concerned Mrs. Wells may be suicidal and request remand for her own safety.
While your concern is touching, Counselor, I'm not certain we need to keep Mrs. Wells locked up at this point. Is there a third party willing to take custody?
Yes, Your Honor. A longtime neighbor and friend, GINA Gordon.
Is Mrs. Gordon present?
Yes, Your Honor, she's right here.
She turns around to indicate GINA, who stands up.
Ms. Gordon, do you promise to return the defendant to court when necessary and assure compliance with any other conditions set?
Yes, Your Honor.
Very well. Defendant is released to the custody of Ms. Gordon.
The judge consults her court calendar.
Preliminary hearing is set for Monday, May 11th, 9 a.m. Court is adjourned.
The judge raps the gavel. GINA comes around to the defense table, gives Ada a hug. Exterior Ada's house, day. Ada stands in her driveway, wears a black dress, very dated, gazes at her front door. Insert, flashback, 1960. Young Ada walks up the porch steps, carries Teddy as a newborn.
Are you ready to see your new home, Teddy?
Back to scene. GINA crosses the street from her house, comes up behind Ada, touches her gently on the arm.
Ada, are you ready?
Ada turns to her.
He was a good boy. I loved him more than anything.
I know.
She leads her to the car. Exterior cemetery, day. Ada looks down at Teddy's grave. Next to it, a tombstone bears Ada's name and birth date. GINA and Alexis stand a few feet behind. A pastor speaks briefly with Ada, then walks away. She turns to Alexis and GINA.
Would you mind terribly if I took a moment alone?
Of course not.
She gives Ada a hug.
Take all the time you need. We'll be in the car.
Thank you. I don't know what I would have done without you. Both of you. You've been so kind.
GINA and Alexis walk towards the car.
I'm worried about her, Alexis. She seems so lost. And she's so thin now. She was always slight, but I think she's dropped 10 pounds in the last couple weeks. She hardly eats a thing. Without Teddy to take care of, she hardly knows what to do with herself. Thank you for taking her case.
Are you kidding? I would have taken it even if we weren't friends. You really care about her, don't you?
My mom used to always talk about Ada, how much she admired her for keeping Teddy at home. My uncle had cerebral palsy, and my grandparents placed him in an institution. So I think that really struck a chord with Mom. The attitude towards people with disabilities was so different back then. Ada was kind of a pioneer, I guess. What's going to happen to her, Alexis?
I don't know. I find it hard to imagine a jury would put an 89-year-old woman in prison, given her circumstances. But you never can tell. This case has a lot of potential to stir up a lot of emotion. The prosecution certainly seems to be gunning for her for some reason. Thankfully, her house has been cleared, so at least she can go back home.
Without warning, Ada crumples to the ground.
Oh,
Ada!
They run to Ada, kneel down on the ground next to her. Alexis checks for a pulse.
Ada, can you hear me? GINA, call 911.
Ada opens her eyes, reaches out a hand.
No, I'm all right. The heat just got to me. I just need to lie down for a while. Please, I'm fine. I want to go home.
Alexis helps her sit up, checks her pulse again. GINA runs to the car, dashes back with a bottle of water, hands it to Alexis.
Here.
Alexis helps Ada take a sip of water.
Better?
Ada nods.
Okay, let's get you to your feet. Slowly now.
They hoist Ada to her feet, walk her to the car, help her into the back seat. GINA shuts the door, turns to Alexis with a worried look.
Alexis, you have got to get the prosecutor to make a deal. Ada's not up for this.
I know. I'll talk to her again.
Interior Dana's office, day. Dana holds her desk phone to her ear. A mail clerk enters, sets mail down in front of her. A familiar blue envelope is on top. Dana sees the envelope and tenses, nods a curt thank you to the mail clerk.
Yes, thank you for your comments. I understand. Just, thank you very much.
She hangs up. The phone rings again almost immediately. She groans, lets it go to her voicemail, throws the envelope in the desk drawer with all the others. She flips open the file in front of her, extracts a picture of Ada, studies it. Alexis appears in the doorway.
Good afternoon. Mind if I come in?
Dana places the picture face down on her desktop, indicates the chair across from her. Alexis takes a seat on the corner of the desk.
I'd like to ask you to reconsider a deal. My client collapsed today at her son's funeral. She's in no shape for a trial.
Dana's phone rings. She ignores it.
I'm sorry to hear that. She can plead guilty. Avoid a trial that way.
Alexis just looks at her.
Okay, then. Are you asking for a postponement?
No, Dana. I'm asking for a little compassion.
The phone rings again.
Do you need to answer that?
Dana picks up the receiver, sets it down with more force than necessary.
Compassion? The same compassion she showed her son? Sure. Let me just figure out how I'm going to square that away with dozens of disability rights groups who won't leave me alone.
She studies Dana, who automatically smooths her hair even though it's perfect.
Was there something else?
It goes deeper than just winning this case, doesn't it? I recognize it. That need for approval.
I'm sorry. What does that mean?
Alexis picks up a framed photo from Dana's desk, looks at it, sets it back down.
This office won't help with that. Harvey has a way of making you feel like you're not quite measuring up, and before you know it, you've become someone you didn't want to be. I remember when this was my office. I was a lot like you then.
Dana straightens the photo to her liking.
Not to be rude, but I don't think you know me well enough to make that comparison.
Alexis walks around the office, inspects Dana's degree.
I was the only one in my family who went to college, let alone law school. My friends from the neighborhood accused me of thinking I was better than them. When I changed my name from Alejandra, they said I'd always be from the barrio, no matter what.
Turns to face Dana.
I was the only Mexican girl in my graduating class. Me, a scrappy, foul-mouthed kid from the streets of East LA, graduating summa cum laude from Stanford Law. I had a lot of doubts of where I fit in, but I always knew what I wanted to do.
And what was that?
Alexis steps closer to her.
Escape my past. I poured myself into my work. I thought if I could only work hard enough, long enough, 16, 18-hour days, win every case, then I'd be good enough, worthy enough. My past wouldn't matter. But I learned the past always matters, Dana. You can't really go forward until you take a look back, in law and in life.
Dana's phone rings.
I'll be sure to remember that. Thanks for the advice.
Alexis moves to the door, turns back around.
Oh, by the way, we'll be arguing substantial capacity. Under the circumstances, Ada couldn't appreciate the consequences of her actions. After the jury hears her tragic story, I'm sure they'll agree. Nice chatting with you, Dana. Don't let this office or Harvey eat you up.
She leaves. Dana chews a nail, stares out the door. Harvey strolls in. Dana quickly pulls her hand away from her mouth.
Was that Alexis Martinez I saw leaving?
Yes.
And she didn't say hello. I'm hurt. What did the esteemed Miss Martinez want?
To rattle me? Harvey, I'm concerned about the strength of this case. I mean, the confession is out, and as of now, we only have 2 witnesses.
Do they both say she's guilty?
Yes, and I'm still waiting to hear back from the medical examiner and the psychiatrist.
Then that's all you need. Don't let Alexis get to you. She's a sharp lawyer. I should know, I taught her. But this case will likely be open and shut.
Well, she's arguing capacity. Maybe we should offer a deal.
He removes a cigar from his suit jacket pocket, goes through the process of cutting and lighting it as he speaks.
Dana, do you know why I promoted you?
I assumed it was because I'm a hard worker who does a good job.
Because you're black or white. There's no middle ground with you, no shades of gray. Someone's either right or they're wrong, guilty or innocent. No deal, Dana. That's what they call you. Did you know that?
Puffs on the cigar to light it.
You don't allow yourself to feel any empathy for the criminal, and that's what makes you a great prosecutor. You have the absolute courage of your convictions. You never waver, so the jury never does. It's why you're sitting in this office, and it's why you're trying this case. Don't go getting soft on me now, Dana. I'd hate to find out I was wrong about you.
He blows a puff of smoke, exits. Dana retrieves a bottle from a desk drawer, sprays room freshener in the air, then leans back in her chair, stares at the ceiling. The phone rings again. Dana exhales loudly. End of Act 1.
So let's take 10. Little bathroom break, and then we'll reconvene and do 2.
Good.
Everybody, this is fantastic. You happy? Yeah. I mean, this is just.
After the death of Teddy Wells is initially treated as a possible suicide, police discover clues that suggest something more deliberate. Ada, his 89-year-old mother, makes a quiet but startling confession. She took the life of her adult, nonverbal autistic son, not in a moment of panic, but with intention, care, and love. Detective Curtis brings her in for questioning. Despite her age and fragile appearance, Ada doesn't waver. She admits what she did and insists she was fully aware. Alexis Martinez, a sharp and compassionate attorney and former ADA, is brought in by Ada's friend and neighbor GINA to defend her and quickly moves to suppress the confession. But Ada, dignified and unwavering, stuns everyone when she calmly insists, "I want to have a trial. Not to escape punishment, but to explain why." At the DA's office, Dana Jeffries is handling the case. She's ambitious, polished, and eager to prove herself. Harvey, her boss, makes it clear this is a political hot button, and she's been chosen as the public face because she looks good and plays by the rules. It's not about justice, it's about optics. Still, Dana accepts the challenge, supported behind the scenes by her longtime loving boyfriend, Ethan. As Dana steps into Ada's reality, her black and white worldview begins to blur. The haunting truth of what life was like for Ada, alone for decades with a nonverbal child who is completely dependent on her, throws Dana off balance. The burden of judgment is now hers to carry, and it's heavier than she imagined. It's not just about law now. It's about meaning, legacy, and the right to define your own story. What looked like a straightforward mercy killing becomes something deeper and messier, a public courtroom battle over the meaning of caregiving, autonomy, and dignity. Interior Dana's house, foyer, night. Dana closes the front door behind her, sets down her briefcase. The sound of laughter floats in from the living room. Interior Dana's living room, continuous. Dana enters to find Ethan with 2 other couples, Izzy and Marshall, and Corey and James, all in their 30s. They stand and chat, drinks in hand. Appetizers and plates adorn the coffee table. Everyone lets out a cheer at the sight of Dana.
Yay! Wait, hold on one second. There's only 5 of you in the room. 11 of you that cheered. That might have been too many people.
Everyone lets out a cheer at the sight of Dana.
Hey!
Ethan walks over to give Dana a kiss.
There you are.
I totally forgot. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry I'm late. I'm sorry I'm late.
They move into the group. Martin hands Dana a glass of wine.
Not to worry, darling. We all know how hard you work. The least the slacker can do is keep us entertained in your absence.
Interior Dana's living room, later. The 3 couples sprawl on the sofas, board games on the coffee table, along with dirty plates and half-empty glasses. They finish a game of Cards Against Humanity.
Okay, final round. What gets better with age?
Oh, you mean beside you, huh?
Ooh, nicely played.
Oh, I just don't age, period.
It's true. I mean, she's been 29 for, what, 6 years now?
Izzy gives Marshall a playful backhand. Everyone looks through their cards, reads their answers.
An ice pick lobotomy.
Ooh, pre-teens.
Jennifer Lawrence.
Izzy gives Marshall a look.
What?
He shrugs.
Okay, Ethan. What gets better with age?
Full frontal nudity.
Oh. Ew.
I was saving that one. Dana, finish this off.
Not funny. It's the only card I have left. Yeast.
Dana and Izzy groan. The men laugh. The laughter dies off.
I know, not funny.
but kind of true, actually.
Who won, Izzy?
Who always wins? Ethan, of course.
Corey raises his glass to Ethan. Everyone else claps.
Always the nice ones you have to look out for.
Ethan feigns being hurt.
Who, me?
Dana gathers up the cards. The guests finish their drinks, stack plates and glasses, retrieve their belongings. Dana stands with Ethan to see their guests out. Marshall pats Ethan on the back.
Another fantastic evening, my brother.
Izzy gives Ethan a kiss on the cheek.
Ethan, you are the best host. You too, Dana.
Ethan, thanks again for the auction items. That training camp experience is going to fetch a pretty penny.
Oh, I'm happy to do it. All I did was make a call.
Well, I appreciate it. We'll see you both there.
Where was that?
Oh, remember, hun, the gala for Alzheimer's in honor of Corey's dad? It's next weekend.
That's right. Yeah, of course. Sorry, it depends on where the trial's at, but I hope so.
Me too.
Hugs and goodbyes all around. Ethan waves as he closes the door after all the guests make their way out. Interior Dana's bedroom. Night. Dana and Ethan sit up in bed. Dana rubs lotion on her legs.
That was a fun evening.
Yeah.
What?
Your friends don't really like me. They just tolerate me because of you.
What? Babe, why would you say that? Besides, they're your friends too.
No, not really. I gained them by default. And you knew them before you met me. I mean, if you and I weren't together, they wouldn't still be my friends. Like, nobody likes lawyers.
He grabs her, pulls her onto the bed.
Well, I do.
He kisses her neck, tries to get her in a good mood.
In fact, let me show you how much I like lawyers. This one in particular.
They kiss more intently. He moves his hand up her thigh. She rolls over to get up.
Hold on.
He tries to keep her in bed. She squirms out of his embrace.
Oh, come on, it'll be okay just this once. Just leave it.
No, I'll be right back.
She heads to the bathroom.
You know, it wouldn't be the end of the world.
He flops back on the bed, groans.
Oh.
Exterior Ada's backyard, day. Ada sits at the patio table, a thick plastic-covered book open in front of her. She gazes out at the garden where adult Teddy, a figment of her imagination, expertly tends to the plants. He is tall and broad, with an innocent open face. Soft brown curls dance in the light breeze. Teddy turns to her, holds up a perfect red ripe tomato.
I don't know how you do it, Teddy. Every year, they're better than the last.
He beams at her.
Ada?
I'm outside, dear.
GINA emerges through the sliding door.
There you are. Is someone here? I thought I heard you talking.
Ada looks at the garden again, then back at GINA, shakes her head.
Just getting some fresh air. Thinking about Teddy.
GINA gives her a squeeze, sees the book on the table.
Is this his baby book?
Yes.
May I?
Of course.
GINA sits next to her, flips through the book.
Such a handsome boy.
Do you think about having children?
I used to, but I have endometriosis and couldn't get pregnant. I think that's why I became a teacher. I get 30 new children every year.
Well, I'm sorry. So many expectations around being a woman, being a mother.
Yes, there are. That's why my husband left after only a year. He knew I could never give him the son he wanted so badly.
That wasn't your fault.
He didn't see it that way.
Ada puts her hand on GINA's. They look through the book together.
That's the only photo Teddy's father ever took with him. He tried to distance himself as much as possible. I couldn't give him the son he wanted either.
Close on a photo of young Ada, seated with baby Teddy, an unsmiling man stands behind them.
We were more alone when he was here than after he was gone.
What happened? Unless it's too painful to talk about.
There's nothing that can hurt me anymore. Jack, my husband, blamed me, just like the doctors did. He said I babied Teddy too much and that he needed to start acting like a normal kid, or else. I was afraid Jack might hurt him, especially after he'd been drinking. One day, Teddy woke from a nap screaming. He screamed for hours. Nothing I tried would make him stop. Jack flew into a rage, yelling he couldn't take it anymore, and that it was Teddy or him. I guess he could tell by the look in my eyes what my choice was. So he left, never came back. I hated him for a long time, until I realized I didn't have the energy for it anymore. Sometimes I even felt sorry for him. I can only imagine what he experienced in the war, just to come home to another.
Are you sure you wouldn't rather stay with me?
Teddy sits beside Ada, puts his head close to hers. She smiles.
No, thank you, dear. I'm all right here.
Okay. I'll check in on you a little later. I've got lasagna in the oven for dinner. I'll bring some over.
That sounds wonderful. Thank you.
Takes Gina's hand.
You do such a beautiful job taking care of others. There's more than one way of being a mother.
Gina gives her a hug. Interior office of the district attorney, day. Dana enters from the street, walks towards her office with a paper takeout bag. Her assistant runs up.
Dana! The ME called while you were out, says he's got 15 minutes for you if you can get there before 1.
Dana checks her watch.
Here, enjoy.
Hands the bag to her assistant, heads back the way she just came. Interior medical examiner's office, day. Dana sits across from the medical examiner, flips through the report.
What exactly is asphyxiation by helium?
Breathing in pure helium deprives the body of oxygen. If the body is unable to take in the oxygen, it starts to die within minutes. Helium speeds up this process. When the gas fills the lungs, it creates a diffusion gradient that washes out the oxygen. In other words, each time the body breathes in helium, more oxygen is sucked out of the system. The body's oxygen level can plummet to a hazardous level in a matter of seconds.
Could Teddy Wells have killed himself this way without any assistance?
It is possible for someone to perform death by asphyxiation unassisted, but given Mr. Wells' substantial development disabilities, it's highly improbable he would have been able to do this by himself, or even agree to it.
So definitely homicide.
Yes. The curious thing is, though, helium is nearly undetectable in toxicology probes.
Meaning?
One more time. Toxicological.
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 Why did you write such big words? You're going to say tox probes.
So definitely homicide.
Yes. The curious thing is, though, helium is nearly undetectable in toxicological probes.
Meaning?
Meaning if the defendant hadn't left the hood and the tubing out, I wouldn't have checked specifically for helium. With no signs of visible trauma on the body and no determinable cause of death, I wouldn't have ruled it a homicide. She could have walked, so why did she confess?
Dana breaks the examiner's gaze to look back at the report. Interior Police Station, front desk, day. Dana approaches the desk sergeant, flashes her credentials.
I'm looking for Detective Raymond Curtis. Is he available?
Interior Robbery Homicide Office, day. Detective Curtis greets Dana.
Ms. Jeffries, how can I help you?
Hello, Detective. I'd like to see the interrogation tapes for Ada Wells, please.
Of course. This way.
Motions for her to follow. Interior Detective Curtis's cubicle, day. Dana and Detective Curtis sit at his desk, a laptop open in front of them.
You looking for anything in particular?
Honestly, I don't know what I'm looking for.
She watches the screen.
I didn't want him to suffer.
Were you trying to make it look like a suicide?
She presses pause, faces the detective.
The ME told me he wouldn't have checked for helium if she hadn't left the equipment out, so it wouldn't have been ruled a homicide. She could have gotten away with it.
It didn't appear she was trying to get away with anything, though. She didn't try to hide it at all. She gave us permission to enter and search the home. The hood, the tubing, everything was in plain view. Her fingerprints were clean, no attempt to wipe anything off.
Would you find her guilty if you were on the jury?
I'm a police officer.
Well, that isn't an answer.
I've known Alexis, Miss Martinez, a long time. I was close with her brother growing up, played ball in school. I worked with her when she was in your position.
Which means what, exactly?
She's good people. She only takes cases she believes in, and that's why she didn't last at the DA's office. In all my years assessing murder suspects, Mrs. Wells' actions indicate she didn't believe she had done anything that needed to be covered up. So, I'm guessing the defense is arguing capacity.
They are.
He shrugs as if to indicate he agrees.
I think I just struck you from my witness list.
Gives her a sympathetic look. Interior Dana's office, day. Dana takes a bite from a sandwich, studies a brief. Harvey breezes in with Alexis. Dana swallows quickly, wipes her mouth, stands up.
Look who I found wandering the halls, twice in 1 week. If I didn't know better, I'd say you were trying to get your old job back.
You'll be the first to know, Harvey.
Well, I'd love to stay and chat, but I've got a meeting. Go easy on this one. I don't want to lose another pretty face.
He nods his head at Dana, leaves.
He's a peach, that one.
Dana does not respond, tries to wait her out. Then,
was there something I could do for you?
No, I was in the neighborhood and thought I'd drop off our witness list in person.
Pulls a folder from her briefcase, hands it to Dana.
Thank you. I plan on reaching out to them.
I'm counting on it. They're all more than happy to speak with you. I think you'll find what they have to say very enlightening.
She makes no move to leave.
Well, if that's all.
That's all. Have a nice afternoon, Dana.
She leaves. Dana peruses the list, reaches for the phone. Interior State Department of Public Health Building, day. A staff member leads Dana down a hallway to an office, shows her inside. Mrs. Macario, 60s, wears an American flag pin on her lapel, stands and greets Dana, offers her a seat.
I thank you for seeing me. I know it can be awkward talking to the other side.
Not at all. I've testified on both sides. Facts are facts. What questions can I answer for you?
You've been deputy director for the Center for Healthcare Quality for how long?
38 years. This year will be my last.
Congratulations on your retirement.
Thank you.
What exactly is the role of the center?
We play a critical role in the protection of patient safety by evaluating health facilities, agencies, and professionals for compliance with state laws and regulations in order to license, certify, or register them.
Dana smiles at her, tries to win her over.
You've said that a few times, I guess.
Indeed. We also investigate complaints, compliance with federal laws and regulations, oversee the education, training, and criminal clearance of nursing home administrators, assistants, and home health aides. The abuse cases are the hardest part of the job.
Yeah, I would imagine. How many complaints do you receive on average?
Around 6,000 a year. Physical and sexual abuse, sometimes patient to patient. Inappropriate use of restraints, medical or basic needs, neglect, patients going without food or lying in their own waste for days.
Well, that's concerning.
It's criminal. Most of the victims are not physically or mentally capable of speaking up or defending themselves. So if there aren't any living relatives to monitor their care, the abuse can go unchecked for years. With budget cuts year after year, it's just not possible for us to reach every facility on a regular basis. It's sad to say, but the defendant's fears of her son being abused in an institutional setting were not unfounded or unreasonable.
Yeah, in total, how many patients are there in the state, approximately?
A little over 300,000.
So 6,000 out of over 300,000. That's less than 2%.
Spoken like a true lawyer.
I mean, still less than 2%. That makes for a pretty small chance of being a victim of abuse, wouldn't you say?
Did you know that less than 1% of our nation's military was killed in the Iraq War?
No, I didn't.
Mrs. Macario turns a framed photo on her desk towards Dana. It is a young man in military dress.
Less than 1%. That's a pretty small number, wouldn't you say? Unless, of course, that number included your child. Then that's still too many.
I'm sorry for your loss. Thank you for your time.
She gathers her belongings, stands to leave. Exterior office of the district attorney, day. Dana exits out onto the street, dressed in running clothes, takes off towards the surrounding park at a fast pace. Interior Dana's office, day. Dana enters, flushed from her run, dabs at herself with a towel. Harvey sits at her desk. She startles at the sight of him.
Sir.
Apologies. Didn't mean to surprise you. Just stopped by to see how the case was developing. Things must be going well. You have time to spare.
It's running. It clears my head. Helps me think.
Well, don't let me impede progress then.
He rises, moves towards the door.
Thank you, sir.
She slinks down in the vacated chair, goes through her messages, stops, grabs the phone, punches in numbers.
Mr. Unger? This is Dana Jeffries from the district's attorney's office. Thank you so much for returning my call. Today would work? 4 o'clock, yes. The address is in the file. Thank you. I'll see you then.
Dana grabs her gym bag to change clothes and freshen up. Interior Dennis Unger's office, day. Mr. Unger, early 60s, with a kind but tired face, rises to greet Dana. They shake hands. He indicates for her to sit.
Mr. Unger, I appreciate you agreeing to meet with me. I won't take too much of your time. I see in the notes you have a brother with autism who lives in a group home?
Yes, my twin, Leo.
And how long has he been in the group home?
This one, 4 years.
There have been other placements?
Oh, yes. Well over a dozen, probably closer to 20 now.
I'm sorry, did you say 20?
Yes, over the past 40 years. My father passed away when my brother and I were only 22. Heart attack. My mother, she couldn't handle Leo on her own. He was too big and too aggressive. She felt incredibly guilty about not keeping him at home, but her health was also failing. The stress was just too much.
I'm so sorry. Why was your brother moved so often?
Well, every time we'd visit, there would be a new bruise, a missing tooth, sometimes even a cast. The staff would always dismiss the injuries as self-inflicted and tell us they needed to add another medication to the mile-long list he was already taking. Their way of controlling him was by keeping him incapacitated.
That's very unfortunate. I would have thought that kind of mistreatment is isolated or rare.
Well, not from what I've seen. Leo has limited functioning and is completely nonverbal. And to be honest, caring for him is exhausting. Many of the staff, they work long, hard hours and are grossly underpaid. It's a recipe for disaster. It's easy to take out your frustrations on someone who doesn't have a voice.
Yeah, but surely now, with all the safeguards and regulations, abuse can't just go unchecked.
It's always a concern for vulnerable populations. I know it's hard to believe if it doesn't directly affect you, but you don't think systems fail? Just read the news on any given day. It happens all the time. That lady, the one you're trying to convict, that'll be me in a few years, facing the same decision she did because I'm the only one left to care about what happens to my brother.
He gives her a pointed look. Interior Dana's car, night. Dana parks outside her house, punches a button on her cell. Close on phone in her hand, reads Mom's cell. Puts the phone to her ear. Sounds of a voicemail greeting come through, then a beep. She hesitates. Ends the call without saying anything. Interior Dana's living room, night. Ethan sits on the couch, watches TV. The front door unlocks. A few seconds later, Dana comes in, still in her coat. She drops her briefcase on the floor, crawls into Ethan's lap, curls into a ball. He turns off the sound on the TV.
Tough day?
She nods.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to talk about it?
She shakes her head, curls up even tighter. He nods to himself, loosens her bun, strokes her hair.
I'm here.
She closes her eyes. Interior Ada's kitchen, night. Ada and Alexis sit at the table, folders stacked on one end. GINA clears plates. Ada's looks like it has been barely touched.
Are you all done, Ada?
Oh, yes, dear. It was wonderful. I just can't eat much.
Alexis reaches over, grabs one of the folders. Ada coughs, takes a sip of water, smiles at Alexis.
Down to business, then. What happens next?
Once jury selection is complete, we'll likely start trial the day or two after. We can go over some of your testimony now if you're up to it.
Of course.
She continues to cough. GINA shakes her head at Alexis out of Ada's sightline. Alexis looks at her watch.
Oh, I am so sorry, Ada. I forgot. I have another appointment. We can talk tomorrow.
She stands, gathers the folders.
That would be...
Ada doesn't finish her sentence. Instead, she cocks her head and smiles.
Oh, that's a new piece.
What do you mean, Ada?
Ada stands, moves to the living room. Alexis and GINA exchange looks, follow her. Interior Ada's living room, continuous. Teddy plays the piano, a virtuoso. Ada takes a seat on the bench next to him, closes her eyes to listen. Alexis and GINA enter, watch her.
Ada?
Ada continues to listen. Teddy finishes, Ada applauds. She turns toward the women brightly.
Such a talent. I often think he could have played at Carnegie Hall, if only...
She looks up, sees their concerned faces. Her animation drains away.
Well, anyway, thank you for dinner. And for the company.
GINA moves to her, puts a hand on her arm.
Why don't you relax in your chair? I'll make you some tea. It'll help you sleep.
Ah, yes. That sounds nice. Thank you.
I'll let you rest then. Good night, Ada. Sleep well.
Ada gives a small, tired wave as GINA helps her to the chair. Interior Dana's office, night. Dana sits on the edge of her desk in the near dark, watches the news on a screen on the wall. She looks tired.
Jury selection concluded today in the case of the South Pasadena woman who allegedly suffocated her adult son because he had autism. Autism is a neurological condition.
She lowers the volume as Carter, late 20s, highly efficient but perpetually anxious, enters with a stack of thick files.
Here are the briefs you wanted.
Thanks.
She stays focused on the screen. He glances at it.
Looks like we made the news.
Mm-hmm.
Are you happy with the jury?
And we'll see.
It was surprising how many people in the jury pool know someone with a disability. Probably close to 50%, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, something like that.
There are a lot more disabled people out there than I thought. I guess it's the kind of thing you don't really pay attention to unless it happens to you.
She finally looks at him.
I suppose you're right.
I guess we're lucky then.
Lucky? How so?
I just mean it's good that we don't. Yeah, I mean, well, you know what I mean.
She remains silent.
Okay, well, if there's nothing else, I'll see you in the morning.
He makes a hasty retreat. Interior Dana's bedroom, night. Dana lies in bed in the dark room, stares up at the ceiling. Ethan is sound asleep beside her. She looks over at him, eases out of bed. Interior Dana's home office, night. Dana sits down at her desk, turns on her laptop. Her fingers hesitate over the keyboard. Then she types. Close on computer screen as Dana types in Christopher Moreland and hits enter. Multiple listings and images pop up. Dana scans the results for a moment, then slams the laptop shut. Interior Dana's house, foyer, day. Dana stares absently at herself in the mirror, chews a nail. Ethan enters with a travel mug of coffee.
You look great. You got this.
She takes her hand away from her face, turns to Ethan with a wan. Wan? Wan? What is that, Val? Wan. She takes her hand away from her face, turns to Ethan with a wan smile.
Thanks.
He sets the mug down on the hall table, rubs her shoulders.
Hey, you're not nervous, are you? You never get nervous, not my gal.
Do you think I did the right thing?
What do you mean?
Nothing. Never mind. I'm gonna be late. Thanks for the coffee.
Gives him a quick kiss on the cheek, picks up the mug and her briefcase. Exterior courthouse, day. Several dozen people, many in wheelchairs, picket by the front steps. The protesters chant and carry signs that read Remember Terry Schiavo, Compassion and Choices, Voice for the Voiceless, etc. Interior television news studio, day. A newscaster is on air.
Opening arguments are underway today in the trial of Ada Wells, an 89-year-old woman who took the life of her adult son with autism. Disability rights organizations clashed with pro-euthanasia groups as they picketed outside the courthouse, and emotions were running high. Some protesters were very strong in their views.
Intercut, Courthouse Television News Studio.
I'm the father of a very severely autistic child. We have always gladly taken care of him, and we always will. There is absolutely no excuse for killing an autistic person. Whatever the circumstances, there is no excuse. Period.
While others were more undecided.
I think the whole story is heartbreaking, just so sad for everyone involved. Caring for someone day in and day out for that many years. I just hope something good can come out of it.
Jennifer Carr, an advocate for the right to die nonprofit Choices in Dying, spoke to our reporter outside the courthouse.
We continue to fight for a time when every citizen of this nation is free to live and die as they choose, according to their own values. This case does not exemplify the usual end-of-life decision for a terminally ill person, so we cannot condone the actions of the defendant. However, we do recognize that suffering is not limited merely to the physical body and can affect one's quality of life as a whole. Now more than ever, we need support systems for our aging population and for people with disabilities to avoid repeats of such tragic events as this.
And prosecutor Dana Jeffries from the district attorney's office had this to say.
Dana strides up the courthouse steps. A reporter follows, thrusts a microphone at her.
Condoning a crime of this nature is a lethal danger to the disabled population.
Interior courthouse, security checkpoint, day. Ada and GINA pass through the metal detectors, head towards the courtroom. Alexis puts her briefcase on the conveyor belt. Dana pushes through the front door, walks up behind Alexis, places her personal items in a bin. Alexis glances over her shoulder as she removes her jacket.
We could have avoided all this.
The crowd outside seems to indicate otherwise.
Is that what you're concerned about?
No. What I'm concerned about is what kind of message it sends if we allow people to murder other people with impunity.
You know full well it wasn't murder.
Call it whatever you want, but either way, he's dead. And if she really wanted what was best for him, she would have given him up. That was the right thing to do.
I'm sure that will sound wonderful on the 5 o'clock news.
She steps through the detector. Interior courtroom, day. Ada sits at the defense table with Alexis, coughs quietly into a handkerchief. GINA sits in the gallery behind them. Dana and Carter occupy the prosecutor's table. The judge enters from her chambers.
All rise.
Everyone rises. The judge sits, raises her hand.
Be seated. In the matter of the People versus Adelaide Wells, is the state ready to proceed?
Yes, Your Honor.
Defense?
Yes, Your Honor.
We will now hear opening statements, beginning with the prosecution.
Dana rises from her chair, smooths her skirt, addresses the jury.
Euthanasia, mercy killing, assisted suicide. These phrases bring to mind terminally ill patients begging for someone to end their suffering. Despite what you may have heard or seen in the media, this case is not about that. Victim Theodore Wells was not terminally ill, clinically depressed, or tired of living. Yes, he had autism, but that's not a rare disorder without treatment options. By some estimates, 1 out of every 54 people in this country have it. Look up autism on the internet and you'll find hundreds, if not thousands, of resources, support groups, therapies, all available to help people and their families who live with this common disorder. All the defendant had to do was simply pick up the phone and call one of them. Help was just a phone call away. Does that sound like a hopeless situation to you? Does that sound like a situation so bleak that you would murder your own child? No matter how well-meaning they try to tell you that the defendant's intentions were, the fact is she planned and carried out the murder of her son. The victim's life wasn't worth any less because he had autism, and his mother had no justifiable reason for killing him. Murder's murder, no matter what, and that is what the state will prove. Thank you.
She takes her seat. Alexis stands, walks to the jury box, leans in.
65 years ago, autism was a completely misunderstood disorder. So much so that it took Ada Wells nearly 40 years to get a diagnosis for her son. For almost 4 decades, doctors told Ada that Teddy's condition was her fault, that she had done this to him because she was cold and unfeeling. A refrigerator mother, they called her. Nothing could have been further from the truth. Those doctors, even her own family and friends, told Ada to put her only child in an institution and walk away. Forget he'd ever been born. Can you imagine? But Ada would have none of it. Instead, she dedicated her entire life to making sure Teddy knew he was loved and cherished. And she did this with almost no support. She lost her husband, her friends, her entire life as she knew it.
Turns to give Ada an empathetic look.
Ada lived confined within the walls of her home, giving up everything she wanted for herself. 65 years of complete selflessness to protect her child. 65 years.
She lets that number hang in the air, then returns to the defense table, squeezes Ada's hand.
Will the state call its first witness?
The state calls Dr. Martin Kressler.
Dr. Kressler steps into the courtroom, takes the witness box. Dana straightens her notes, approaches the doctor. She glances out into the gallery, sees Ethan, who gives her a nod. Interior Dana's dining room, night. The table is set with flowers and candles. The lights are dimmed. Soft music plays. The front door unlocks. Footsteps as Dana enters. Ethan pops out from the kitchen to greet her.
Surprise!
Oh, what is all of this?
Oh, I just thought I'd give the warrior returning from a battle a much-deserved welcome home.
He takes her briefcase, sets it down, gives her a kiss.
I didn't know you were gonna be there today.
Yeah, you seemed like you maybe needed some support.
No, I'm fine. I was fine. But thank you.
Sit down, relax. Dinner's almost ready. Here, give me your jacket.
He removes her jacket, steers her towards the table. She sits, spots the glass of wine in front of her, takes a long drink. Interior Dana's dining room, later. Dana and Ethan are at the table, plates pushed aside. Her shirt is still buttoned up, her hair still pulled back. One wine bottle on the table is empty. Ethan reaches for a second bottle, moves to top off Dana's glass. She puts her hand out to cover it.
Oh, no, not for me. I have to be in court early tomorrow.
He gets up, clears the dirty dishes.
Speaking of, you feel good about today?
You know, I don't like talking about trial. I'm in the middle of it.
I know, but you're usually so fired up after a day in court, like there's an electricity running through your veins. I know, I kind of like it, truth be told.
He comes up behind her, kisses her neck, unbuttons the top button of her blouse.
I'm not used to seeing you so low-key. Is everything okay?
It's just a different kind of case, that's all.
He rubs her shoulders.
If anything ever happened to you, if you couldn't take care of yourself, how would you feel?
What do you mean, like, would I be upset?
Yeah. Yes. I guess that's what I'm asking. Depressed, hopeless, like not wanting to live.
Would I still be able to make love to you?
He leans down to nibble on her ear. She shrugs him off, turns to face him.
I'm serious.
He searches her face.
You are serious?
Pulls up a chair next to hers.
Okay, seriously. Life is great. I wouldn't want to die even if things got tough. I think I could live with most things if I was paralyzed or something like that.
You wouldn't be depressed?
Well, I'm sure I would have low points, but who doesn't? Lots of people live with disabilities and have very productive, meaningful lives. Remember that piece I did last year on the Paralympics? Now, those athletes can do more than most able-bodied people.
What if you were mentally disabled?
I don't know. I never thought about that before. What level are we talking about here? I wouldn't want to lie around in a vegetative state for years and years, if that's what you mean. I mean, that's why I have a DNR order. What is this about, anyway?
But at what point do you make that decision to walk away? Like, how long do you try before you give up?
I'm not sure. I don't think you can put an absolute on something like that. Everyone's situation is different. You might think you know what you do, but you can't really say until you've been there. I think you're right. One bottle of wine is enough. Come on, let's go to bed.
He stands, takes her hand. She gently pulls it away.
I'll be there in a bit. have some work to finish up.
Always work. All right, don't be too long. I might pass out before you have a chance to take advantage of me.
Bends down to kiss her. She looks up at him, grabs his hand.
Thank you.
For what?
For putting up with me. I know it's not always easy.
No, it's not. But it's worth it. You're worth it.
He kisses her. Their hands trail as he exits towards the bedroom. She finishes the wine in her glass, contemplates the second bottle, lets out a sigh, and grabs it. Interior courtroom, day. The judge enters from her chambers.
All rise.
The room comes to its feet, waits while the judge settles herself. There's a sense of expectation in the courtroom.
Be seated. In the matter of the people of the state of California versus Adelaide Wells, court is now in session. Counselor, please proceed.
The defense calls Ada Wells.
Shuffling and whispering from the gallery as GINA helps Ada make her way into the witness box.
Please raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
She sits, settles herself. Alexis approaches the witness box.
Good morning. Would you please state your full name for the record?
Adelaide Marie Wells.
Miss Wells?
Please call me Ada.
Of course, Ada. Can you tell us about your son, Teddy?
Yes. Teddy was my first and only child. He was born 4 weeks early. I always said it was because he knew I couldn't wait for him to get here. My husband, Jack, was stationed in Vietnam at the time, so I drove myself to the hospital.
That would be scary, having your first baby all alone. Besides being born premature, were there any other delivery complications?
Yes. I was in labor 32 hours. Teddy was a breech birth, and it was very difficult. I always wondered if that might have affected him.
How did Teddy's development progress after that?
He was meeting some of his milestones at first, sitting up and crawling, but he never babbled, never cooed. He rarely smiled. He never seemed to look at you. It was more like through you. And he was so quiet in the beginning. He would get this faraway look on his face, like he was locked away somewhere no one else could get to.
Insert exterior Ada's house. Flashback. Young Ada holds 1-year-old Teddy in the front yard, points up at the sky. Jack, Ada's husband, sits on the porch, beer bottles around his feet.
Look, Teddy. Look at the pretty bird.
Teddy does not look, makes no sound.
Well, don't you see it? It's there, Teddy. It's right there. Look.
Jack throws a bottle to the ground, gets up in disgust and goes inside, slams the screen door behind him.
Just look, Teddy. Please, just look at the pretty bird.
Back to scene.
Did anyone else notice or comment on Teddy's behavior?
At first, my family and friends told me how lucky I was to have such a calm baby. Until they tried to hold him. Teddy would scream and twist away so violently. I thought he would hurt himself if anyone touched him besides me.
How was he with his father?
Jack was overseas the first year of Teddy's life, but then he was injured in a training accident, so he was discharged from the service and came home. The pain from the accident, he would drink to make it go away. Things were difficult.
Difficult how?
Insert interior Ada's living room. Flashback. Jack stumbles in the front door, clearly drunk. Little Teddy sits on the floor. Small toys lined in a row in front of him. Jack approaches Teddy, pats him on the head, then picks up one of the toys.
Hey, buddy, what are you playing, huh?
Teddy screams, repeatedly bangs his ears with his fists. Jack gets in Teddy's face, yells.
What the hell's wrong with you? Stop that!
He kicks all of Teddy's toys. Teddy screams louder. Young Ada rushes in, scoops up Teddy, attempts to console him.
He's not my kid, he's a freak. You made him a freak.
He takes a swing at Ada, who ducks. He stumbles and falls. Ada runs out with Teddy. Back to scene. Ada coughs, pours herself a glass of water, takes a sip. Her hand trembles slightly.
Finally, Jack left for good. Our friends eventually stopped coming to visit. Family died or moved away, and then Teddy started refusing to leave home. When I tried to take him anywhere, he would bite himself or pull his hair out. So we just stayed in after that.
You were so alone, so isolated. How did you survive? What did you live on?
A few months after Jack left, the police came to tell me he'd drank himself to death. I started receiving his benefits along with my father's estate. It was enough to get by.
What about human contact? Someone to talk to?
Ada finds GINA in the gallery, smiles at her.
I was blessed to have a neighbor, Ruth, and her daughter, GINA, who looked in on us regularly, brought us groceries. We had a doctor who made house calls, and our pastor, Father Wida, also came by until he got sick and passed away.
So in 65 years, you had contact with just 4 people?
But I had Teddy. For every time he was unreachable, he was also a joy. He had a real sense of the earth, loved tending the garden. Sometimes he would lie down on the ground and rub the dirt all over him. I think it made him feel connected to something. He taught himself to play the piano. He could listen to a song on the radio once, then play it back note for note. It was truly a gift. The briefest glimpse of what his life might have been like if only he...
She coughs again, quite uncontrollably. Alexis steps closer to her.
Ada, are you all right?
Ada nods, still coughing. Several jury members cast sympathetic glances at her. Dana notices. The judge looks at Ada with some concern.
I think that's enough for today. Court is adjourned until 9 a.m. Monday morning.
People rise, make their way out. Interior Dana's home office, night. Dana, still in court clothes, writes on a legal pad at her desk. Scribbles furiously, drops her head in her hands. Ethan comes in, steps behind her, puts his hands on her shoulders. She startles.
I didn't hear you come in.
Still working? It's almost midnight.
It is?
Mm-hmm.
He pulls up a chair across from her, sits down, lifts her legs onto his lap.
You haven't even taken your shoes off yet.
He slides off her shoes, massages her feet.
Hey.
She tenses.
Relax.
She leans back in the chair. They are silent for a moment.
Are you all right, Dana?
She sits up, pulls her feet away.
I'm fine. Why?
Oh, you've been on edge lately.
It's just the case.
Do you want to talk about it?
With a journalist? No.
Oh, it's me, remember? Your boyfriend? And I'm a sports writer. That's not quite the same. You're not sleeping with the enemy.
You're right. Sorry.
Okay, I have an idea. Why don't we take a break and do something fun this weekend?
I don't know. I have a lot of work to do, Ethan.
Oh, come on, just for a few hours. It's my niece's first birthday tomorrow. My sister is having a barbecue. It'll be fun. And it would do you some good to get out for a bit. Just clear your head. Besides, she's my only niece, and we've barely even seen her.
She hesitates. He nuzzles up to her.
Oh, come on. Just for a little while. We'll have some cold beer, gnaw on some ribs.
He leans in, bites her side in a playful manner. She laughs. He takes her face in his hands, looks at her with intent.
You know, it's good to hear you laugh.
Okay.
Okay.
You talked me into it for a little while.
I know. I'm hard to resist. I know.
He pretends to chew on her again. She shrieks in protest.
Stop.
Exterior Rebecca's backyard. Day. Tables and chairs are set up under canopies, balloons, and first birthday party decorations everywhere. One table is piled high with brightly wrapped presents. Rebecca, 30s, Ethan's sister, holds a baby girl, Sydney, dressed in a tiara and a frothy pink dress, talks with an older couple. Smoke rises from a corner of the yard. Rebecca's husband, Kevin, 30s, wears a party hat, flips burgers on a large barbecue grill. People mill about, chat, drinks in hand. Kids run in and around the adults with shrieks of joy. Ethan and Dana enter through the back gate. He carries a huge present.
Where's my little rock star?
Rebecca turns around.
Ethan!
Ethan sets the present on the table. Rebecca walks over to greet them. Ethan kisses her on the cheek, takes Sydney from her, kisses the baby all over as she squeals in delight.
Here she is. Now, what on earth has your mother dressed you in, huh? You look like a birthday cake, not a birthday girl.
He pretends to nibble on Sydney.
Ha ha, she looks adorable.
She gives Dana a hug.
Dana, I am so happy you could make it. We haven't seen you in ages. I know how busy you are, though. We saw you on television. Such a sad case.
Ethan shoots Rebecca a look, clears his throat.
Rebecca.
Oops. Not supposed to mention work. You're here to have fun. Let me get you two a drink. I will be right back.
Ethan continues to play with Sydney, catches Dana's eye, grins widely. Dana looks around at the partygoers. Her gaze lands on a family of 3. Mother, father, and a little girl, Molly, just beginning to walk. It is apparent that Molly has Down syndrome. She takes a few faltering steps, lands on her bottom, laughs. Molly's parents cheer her on. Rebecca returns with drinks, follows Dana's gaze.
Those are our new neighbors. I'll introduce you. Isn't Molly just the cutest?
Hands them their drinks.
Here you go, my secret Hawaiian punch. Definitely not the kiddie version. Cheers. Now, if Kevin hasn't burned everything, I think we might be ready to eat.
Exterior Rebecca's backyard, later. Guests eat, talk. Dana and Ethan share a table with Rebecca, Kevin, and Sydney. Molly and her family at the table across from them. Dana glances over repeatedly.
Kevin, that wasn't half bad. I think I might need another plate.
You know, I feel like he's rubbing his stomach. You know, I think people are kind of exhaling as you're talking.
Who's reading Kevin?
Nick, we want to throw it at Nick?
I'll do it.
Go for it.
He's a
Nick.
party guy, huh?
Yeah.
Party hat. All right.
So from Ethan's line.
Yes.
Kevin, man, that wasn't half bad. I think I might need another plate.
I think I might have to join you.
They head for the food table.
Time to get the cake. Dana, can you hold her for a second?
Without waiting for a response, she hands Sydney to Dana. She's visibly uncomfortable, unsure of what to do. She awkwardly bounces the baby on one knee. Sydney babbles and claps her hands, which catches the attention of Molly, who stumbles her way over to them. Molly reaches Dana and Sydney, stretches out her arms for Dana to pick her up. Dana looks around, ill at ease. Molly's mother comes over.
Did you come to make friends, Molly?
She picks Molly up, sets her on Dana's other knee. Dana stiffens. The 2 children interact with each other.
Adorable. I have to get a picture.
She steps away. Molly turns her attention to Dana, touches her face and hair. Dana's eyes are frozen on hers. Molly's mother returns, snaps a picture with her phone.
Say, happy birthday!
Ethan approaches, smiles at the sight. Rebecca returns, scoops up Sydney.
Dana, who knew you had such a way with kids?
Dana gives her a faint smile, hands Molly back to her mother.
Excuse me, I need to use the restroom.
She hurries towards the house. Interior Rebecca's house, bathroom, day. Dana sits on the side of the bathtub, bent over, her head in her hands. The doorknob rattles. She looks up, calls out.
Just a moment.
She stands, moves to the sink, finds mouthwash in a paper cup in the medicine cabinet, rinses out her mouth, catches her reflection in the mirror. Her face is ashen. Exterior Rebecca's house. Driveway, night. Dana gets into the passenger seat of their car as Ethan hugs his sister and niece goodbye. Rebecca makes Sydney blow kisses as the car drives away. Interior Ethan's car, moving, night. Ethan drives as Dana looks out the side window.
You've been quiet, you okay?
She does not look at him.
Just a little too much secret punch.
Yeah, it packed the wall up. It was great to see you loosen up for a bit, though. You were so cute with the babies. I think they fell in love with you.
She stays silent. He glances at her.
I've never really seen you around kids before. What do you think?
About what?
About having kids. We've never talked about it.
She sits upright.
Yes. yes, we did. We when we first got together, it was one of the reasons we were attracted to each other. We were both happy with our lives and our careers, and we didn't want to change that.
Sure, but that was what we wanted then, but that was a few years ago. People can change their minds.
I haven't changed my mind. I'm happy with things just the way they are.
So you don't ever want to have kids?
And now all of a sudden you do?
I don't know, Dana. We're just talking. But maybe there's more to life than working 16-hour days.
I like my job. I like to work.
Yeah, I know.
What does that mean?
He pulls into their driveway, shuts off the car. Interior Ethan's car continuous. Ethan turns to look at Dana.
Nothing, it's just... You're so driven by work and only work. Maybe you should take some time to discover other interests. Do other things.
Like have a baby.
Well, it'd be fun trying.
Is that what you want? To have a baby?
You're so smart and strong and beautiful. Can't you just imagine what a perfect little baby would make?
No, I don't want to imagine it. I don't want to imagine it at all. Like, I can't have a baby.
What, you mean you can't get pregnant? We use birth control, so I just thought... I am so sorry. I didn't know that, Dana.
He moves to comfort her. She pulls away.
I can't have a baby. I can't. And why are you bringing this up now?
I don't know. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to upset you. You just look so beautiful holding those little girls today. It seems so perfect.
Just stop saying that. Stop it. I had a baby. Do you understand? I had a baby and she wasn't perfect. She wasn't perfect. And I tried and I couldn't do it. Like, I couldn't be perfect.
She pushes open the car door, runs inside the house. Interior Dana's house, hallway, day. Ethan stops outside the closed door to Dana's office. He knocks gently, then opens the door. Interior Dana's home office, continuous. Dana stands at the window with her back to the door. Ethan looks in.
Dana, can I come in?
She doesn't answer or turn around. He takes one step in.
You've been in here since last night. There's a pretty big elephant in the room. Can we talk about it?
She shakes her head.
That's why this case has been so tough for you, isn't it? Why you don't ever talk about your family, why you move thousands of miles away, why you keep all your feelings bottled inside. Your baby.
She shakes her head again, slower this time. End of Act 2.
Very nice.
As the case builds momentum, so do Dana's doubts. Every piece of evidence paints a different picture than the one in her file. A mother who gave everything, who could have hidden her crime but didn't, who spent decades trying to protect her son from a system that repeatedly failed families like hers. Dana speaks with witnesses who've lived the same story, caregivers of disabled family members, experts who've seen institutional abuse firsthand. These aren't just character witnesses for Ada. They're witnesses to a broken system. The kind of system Ada feared would swallow her son the moment she was gone. Act 3. Interior courtroom, day. Court is in session. Ada on the stand to resume her testimony.
Ada, in your own words, can you tell us what happened the night of April 24th of this year?
It had been a good day. As close to perfect a day as could get for us. No meltdowns, no outbursts. The rain had held off till evening, so Teddy was able to lie in the garden, feel the sun on his face.
Insert flashback, montage. Teddy lies on his back in the garden. Ada watches him from the doorway. Ada runs a bath for Teddy, pours bubble bath into the tub. Teddy enters the bathroom. He wears a robe. Ada brings Teddy a dish of ice cream. Teddy gets into bed. Ada tucks him in, sits next to him, checks her watch. Ada picks up a cloth hood from the nightstand. Ada connects a tube to the helium tank, turns a valve on the tank. Ada sits on the bed with Teddy, holds his hand. Ada checks Teddy's pulse, strokes his hair, and kisses his cheek, then lays her head on his chest and sobs. Ada removes a yellow balloon from a package and uses the tank to fill it. Back to scene.
Ada, by your own admission, you're telling us you took your son's life. Why did you do it?
About a year ago, I read an article about a woman who lived with her 84-year-old mother, just the two of them. The woman was deaf, blind, and mentally disabled. Her mother had taken care of her for so many years, just like Teddy and me. When the mother died at home, the woman crawled around on the floor over her mother's dead body, looking for food and water before she was finally found a week later. She was so traumatized they had to put her into the hospital. All I could think was that could have been Teddy, all alone, unable to even walk out the front door for help.
But Ada, there are state hospitals, residential living facilities. Why didn't you just find somewhere else for him to go?
65 years Teddy lived in that house with me. He knew every spot where the floor creaked, exactly how long it took the toaster to pop up when it was time to plant the strawberries. That was his home, his sanctuary. It was where he belonged, where he felt secure, even happy. How could I take all that away from him?
Her voice breaks, but she keeps going.
Where else in the world would they let him play piano at 2 o'clock in the morning if he woke up from a bad dream? Where would they let him lie in the dirt and take comfort from the earth? Where would they hold him and stroke his hair and tell him how beautiful he was? How truly beautiful. Where would he be safe? Where? Just where is that place?
A juror fumbles for a tissue. Alexis waits a moment before continuing.
Ada, did you also plan to take your own life that day?
I did.
What stopped you?
I had to tell our story. I couldn't bear anyone thinking I took my son's life because I didn't love him, or because I thought he was a burden, or I was tired of taking care of him, even when I was exhausted and sad, and I couldn't understand what Teddy needed. Never for a moment did I ever wish he wasn't my son.
Tears fall freely down her face.
I'm not saying I never wished he didn't have autism. I wished that a lot, especially when he was young. It's only human to feel that way. You never expect, to have a child with a disability. It catches you completely off guard, changes the way you think about everything. I hated watching Teddy struggle. He had so much to offer the world and would never get the chance. It made me so angry. It was so unfair. But having Teddy in my life, even with autism, is always what I would choose over never having had him at all. How empty my life would have been without him.
Ada looks out into the gallery. In the front row, she sees her 24-year-old self with infant Teddy in her arms as she coos to him and lulls him to sleep, and brings him to her chest, kisses the top of his head, breathes deep in contentment. Alexis steps closer to Ada, puts her hand on the rail of the witness box.
Ada, on the day you took your son's life, did you believe at that moment what you were doing was wrong?
No.
Thank you, Ada. No more questions. Your witness?
She walks back to her seat. Dana stands, straightens her jacket, steps around to the front of the prosecution table.
Just so we're perfectly clear, Mrs. Wells, did you kill your son?
Yes.
And do you believe killing a person is wrong?
Under most circumstances, yes.
But not in your circumstance. Because you didn't think your son could adapt to living anywhere else. A theory which you could have easily tested while he was still alive, but you chose not to. Without exploring any other options, you planned and carried out the manner of your son's death. You murdered your son because you alone decided that your son's life would be worthless without you.
Exterior Ada's house, day. Flashback 1990. Ada, in her mid-50s, stands on the front porch, the door wide open. In the early morning, the air is still, the street quiet. She motions with her hand.
Oh, come look, Teddy. It's so beautiful after the rain.
No movement from inside.
Please, Teddy, I promise nothing bad will happen. You're all grown up now. You can do it.
Teddy, around 30 years old, appears in the doorframe.
That's it. Come see the red bud tree. It's bursting with flowers.
She points towards the front yard. Teddy peers out in curiosity, but does not step outside.
Please, Teddy. Just one step. I promise you'll be safe. I'll be right here with you. Always.
Teddy hesitates, slides 1 foot a few inches forward. Suddenly, the stillness is broken by the thud of a newspaper against the wooden porch railing. A boy on a bicycle whizzes down the sidewalk. A second later, an avalanche of sounds of a regular day. The wail of a siren, a barking dog, a door slams, a baby cries. Teddy lets a cry of distress, claps his hands over his ears. He sinks to the floor, rocks back and forth. Ada rushes inside. Interior Ada's front hallway, continuous. Ada quickly but softly closes the door behind her. Teddy, still on the floor, hits the back of his head against the wall. His cries of distress continue. Ada, in tears, runs past him, returns a second later with a well-worn but soft plush blanket. She slides down next to Teddy, rubs the blanket on his arm and cheek.
I am so sorry. I'm so sorry. I won't ever ask you that again. I'm so sorry, Teddy. I should have known better. Please forgive me. I'm sorry. Oh, I'm so sorry.
She rocks with him as she soothes him with the blanket. Interior courtroom, day. Ada looks out, lost in thought, then turns directly to Dana.
All I can say to you is everything I've done in the past 65 years was what I believed to be in the best interest of my son for our situation. No one in this room can truly know what that was. I realize, though, that you still have to judge me from a place of law, or maybe your own personal feelings, because that's what keeps order and helps you make sense of something like this. I never thought Teddy's life had any less worth, any less meaning, because he had autism. What I did wounded me in a way I could never make you understand. But I wouldn't change it. It's all right. You do what you need to do. It doesn't matter what happens to me. I just want you to see we all have our own peace to make in this world, however we may find it.
Dana is silent.
Counselor?
No further questions.
The defense rests, Your Honor.
Does the prosecution wish to call any rebuttal witnesses?
Yes, Your Honor.
Then we'll resume after lunch. Dismissed.
Wraps her gavel.
I was looking for one. I think I have. That's fine.
Yes,
We'll get you some tissues.
And by the way,
I think you're terrific.
How about a little? That was beautiful.
Yeah, I think it's fantastic.
Let's take a beat, and then when you're ready.
All right.
Okay.
I just didn't want to be disgusting in the shots.
It's audio only.
Okay.
Interior courthouse, attorney conference room, day. GINA opens a bag, takes out food. Alexis sits at the table, reviews notes. Ada stands at the window, looks down on the crowd of demonstrators below.
All those years, barely anyone knew I even existed. Now look at all the fuss.
You made people think, Ada. That's never a bad thing.
Did I ever tell you about Teddy's art?
The drawings in his room?
Oh, to most people, they probably look like nonsense, but they were his way of expressing himself. They represent how he saw the world and how he saw himself in it. I understood that. Every time something upset him, he would draw. It's how he worked through it.
The chants of the protests waft up. Ada gazes out, squints against the bright sun.
But no amount of drawing could ever make the world a safe place for him. I did try, but I couldn't make it safe for him either. So, making our home his sanctuary was all I could think to do.
She coughs, gets louder and more insistent. GINA and Alexis exchange glances. GINA brings Ada a box of tissue.
Here, Ada. Why don't you come sit down? Have something cold to drink.
She ushers Ada over to the table. Interior courtroom, day. Court is back in session.
The state calls Dr. Monique Ogden.
Dr. Ogden, late 40s, stylish appearance, walks with authority, enters the courtroom, sits in the witness box. The bailiff approaches.
Please raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Your Honor, Dr. Ogden is testifying as an expert in the field of autism.
Please state your qualifications, Dr. Ogden.
Certainly, Your Honor. I hold a PhD in childhood development with a postgraduate work at Harvard School of Medicine. My educational expertise is in the areas of developmental psychology and developmental psychopathology. I am the director of the Autism Clinic at the University of California, Santa Barbara, and former co-director of the Marcus Autism Neurodevelopment Center in Atlanta. Additionally, I am a professor of child and adolescent psychiatry. I have worked with children with autism and their families for almost 30 years.
The court is satisfied Dr. Ogden has met the requirements of Rule 702. Any objections from the defense?
No, Your Honor.
You may proceed.
Dr. Ogden, could a person with severe autism, such as Theodore Wells, learn to adapt to a new environment after spending his entire life in the same house with the same caretaker?
Yes, he could. It would take some special consideration, someone to get to know him and how he communicates before his mother was gone, along with recreating a similar environment and routine in his new living space. But it most certainly could be done. People with low-functioning autism navigate their world almost like a movie with no soundtrack. They don't want their routine broken because they are unsure how to restore the track. It would take some time, but with intense therapy, I'm sure it would not only be possible, but a highly successful transition in which he could thrive.
Just so I have it straight, in your expert opinion, as it relates to this case, Theodore Wells could have adjusted to living in a new home without his mother as his caretaker and lived an equally fulfilling life.
In my expert opinion, yes.
Thank you, Dr. Ogden. Your witness.
Alexis smiles in anticipation. Dana returns to her table while Alexis remains seated.
Dr. Ogden, do you work with many older autism patients?
I have worked with them, yes.
The key word there was many. Almost all of your work is with children. Isn't that correct?
Children and teenagers, yes.
You don't have a child with autism, do you?
No, I do not.
Have you personally, as an autism expert, ever come across a case such as this? A man with severe autism being removed from his only home, his only family member, after 6.5 decades, and continuing to thrive.
I don't have any personal experience with a case exactly like this.
Have any of your colleagues?
I'm not certain. I would have to check.
Convenient. How about any case studies? Read any of those? 65 years, same home, same caretaker, moved him and he was fine. Anything like that?
There have been some similar situations.
Really? Similar how?
I've worked with adults with autism after they were removed from their family homes.
You have? How old were these adults?
To my recollection, the oldest was 23.
Dana bites the inside of her lip. A low murmur is heard through the courtroom.
23. That's not quite 65, is it? Did these patients of yours still have living family members? Parents? Siblings? Loved ones to visit? Monitor their care. Take them home for visits and holidays.
I'm not sure.
You're not sure? Weren't these your patients, doctor?
Objection. Asked and answered.
I'll allow it. Please answer the question, doctor.
Reflecting back, yes, they had family who visited.
So even with all your expertise, you can't say with any degree of certainty that Teddy Wells would have been just fine. You can't say that he wouldn't have been utterly traumatized by the sudden upheaval in his life, unable to respond or communicate in any meaningful way. You don't know because you've never come across a single case study, even remotely, like Teddy's, have you?
I can't say definitively, but based on
Alexis stands, leans across the table, and interrupts the doctor with force.
Just answer the question. Yes or no, doctor? Do you have any actual experience with a case as extreme as this?
No.
Alexis gives a dismissive wave of her hand, sits back in her seat.
That's what I thought. I'm through with this witness.
Redirect?
No, Your Honor.
You may step down, Dr. Ogden.
She quickly leaves the courtroom. Dana does not look at her.
Does the state wish to call any further witnesses?
The state rests, Your Honor.
Court is adjourned. We will reconvene at 9 a.m. tomorrow for closing arguments.
The judge raps her gavel. People gather their belongings and file out. The noise level rises. Dana stays seated. Carter speaks to her, but she isn't listening. She notices Ada looking at her and holds her gaze, then turns away when she realizes Carter is talking. Exterior Dana's car, moving, night. Dana drives slowly down a residential street. She stops in front of Ada's house, turns off her lights. Interior Dana's car, night. Dana stares at Ada's house. Light shines from a front window. Ada appears at the window, looks out into the night. The house goes dark. Dana sits for a moment, then drives away. Interior courtroom, day. The room is packed, everyone in position except the judge. People fan themselves. Dana dabs discreetly at her forehead and upper lip with a tissue. Ada does not look well. The judge enters, takes her seat.
All rise. This court is now in session.
Everyone rises.
Good morning. Be settled. As there are no more witnesses, we will proceed to closing statements, beginning with the prosecution. Are you ready to begin, Mrs. Jeffries?
Dana remains standing as the rest of the room sits.
Yes, Your Honor.
Dana turns to address the jury.
Ada Wells committed murder. She told you so, right here in this very courtroom. She searched the internet, gathered the equipment she needed, selected the day, and killed her son. And no matter what the reasoning was behind it, no matter how sorry you may feel for her and what she has been through in her life, remember that she had a choice, and that choice was murder. And when you cut through all the emotion, all the heartbreak, you're still left with murder. Plain and simple, and that is what you must find Ada Wells guilty of. Thank you.
She steps back as Alexis comes around the defense table.
Some Buddhist teachings justify taking human life on the grounds of compassion in dire circumstance. One text says, taking life is unreprehensible when it develops from a virtuous thought. Ada's only thought was that her son should die at peace, in the only place and with the only person he'd ever known, comforted and secured in her love, rather than lost and confused, alone among strangers. There was no malice, no deceit, no attempt to cover up what she had done, because there was no crime committed. On the day Ada took Teddy's life, she believed fully and completely that what she was doing was not wrong. In her mind, she was taking care of her son, just as she always had. John Steinbeck wrote, "There are those among us who live in rooms of experience that you and I can never enter." Ada Wells lived with her son in such a room where none of us have ever been, for 65 years. Not because she had to, not out of obligation, but out of love. And her final act for her son was out of love, too.
She takes a moment to let that connect, returns to her seat.
Rebuttal, Your Honor?
The judge nods. Dana stands, steps right up to the jury.
I don't think anyone here doubts that Ada Wells loved her son. That's not in question. But Ada Wells isn't on trial for loving her son. She is on trial for killing him. Ada Wells thought her son would be better off dead if she were not around to take care of him. But that was not her decision to make.
Stop. Sorry, Ada Wells is on trial for not loving.
Oh.
So let's take it from
Wait.
the top.
No.
Isn't on trial for not loving.
Yeah, right, on trial for not
Either way, it was
loving.
wrong.
Great. Thanks, Nick. I don't think anyone here doubts that Ada Wells loved her son. That is not in question. But Ada Wells isn't on trial for not loving her son. She's on trial for killing him. Ada Wells thought her son would be better off dead if she were not around to take care of him, but that was not her decision to make. Mrs. Wells had cared for her son all by herself, and maybe that was part of the problem. Maybe by not seeking out others to share her burden, she in fact created the very situation she felt she only had one solution: killing her own son. Mrs. Wells told us that there was no one else. No family, no one who would care for Teddy as she did. And maybe in the first few years of Teddy's life, that was true. But now, there are numerous organizations, agencies, schools, therapy centers, assisted living facilities. Any number of these places would have taken Teddy in, given him the care and attention he needed, and even given her some of her life back in the process. Sadly, Ada Wells had no trust, no faith in these systems based on what? Her intuition?
Sweeps her arm in Ada's direction.
And that gave her the right to decide her own child would be better off dead? And perhaps if she had just let go of struggling alone and simply asked for help, none of us would be here today. I have no doubt it was frightening for Mrs. Wells to think of leaving her son to the care of strangers. But where then do we draw the line? At what point do we make the distinction of whether or not a life is worth living, worth continuing?
Takes a quick breath, keeps going.
We talk about quality of life as though it takes a certain amount of it for life to be justified. Teddy Wells had music, he had art, he had his garden, and by Ada's own account, he was happy. This is a life that had value. Don't you think if Teddy could have spoken, he would have said the same? Be his voice and return with the verdict of guilty.
She sits down. The judge's instructions to the jury drone in the background. Exterior, Dana's office, day. Dana stands in the doorway, glances around at her books, her degree, her pictures. She walks to her desk, opens a bottom drawer, sifts her hand through the collection of unopened letters. Interior, Dana's home office, night. Dana sits at her desk in near darkness, still in work clothes, but for once they are wrinkled and in disarray. A spot of light from a lamp illuminates one of the colored envelopes, open, with a letter and small picture next to it. Ethan pokes his head in.
It's late.
Dana gathers up the letter and the picture.
Yeah, I'll be there in a little bit.
Okay. Dana,
Yes?
you could talk to me. There isn't anything you could tell me that will make me love you less. You're safe with me, you know that, right? Sometimes you just have to let go and trust someone.
She does not respond. He waits, gives a small sigh, walks away. She lifts her hand off the picture, looks down at it. Interior, Dana's home office, day. Dana sits in the same spot as the sun comes up. Interior, Ada's house, front hallway. A knock on the front door. Ada enters from the kitchen, her movements labored. She opens the door to find Dana on the porch, dressed as earlier.
You don't have to speak with me. In fact, I shouldn't be here, and this will likely get me disbarred.
Is the verdict in?
No. This isn't about the case.
Well, come in.
Ada unlocks the screen door, pushes it open. Interior Ada's kitchen, day. Dana sits at the table. Ada pulls a whistling kettle off the stove, crosses to the table and pours water for tea. Her hand shakes noticeably.
You know, for years, the medical community said I didn't love my son enough, and that's what caused his autism. You're the first person who ever accused me of loving him too much. You may have been right in a way. I had held on for so long. I didn't know how to let go. Doctors always talked about Teddy like he was broken and needed to be fixed. I was afraid of what that meant. I really did believe I was the only one who could ever truly care for him and know what he needed.
And so you just accepted it? It was just that easy?
Oh, no. It was never easy. I was depressed. I was angry. Sometimes after Teddy would finally fall asleep, I would scream into a pillow until I had nothing left. I was angry at my husband for not even trying to understand. Angry at my family for not being there for me. I wondered what I had done to deserve it. Then I used to feel guilty until I realized none of it was a reflection on who I was as a person or my ability to be a good mother.
Did you ever have any doubts about your feelings for Teddy?
My sister asked me once if I found it difficult to love Teddy. I told her, it's only the disability you struggle to embrace, not the child.
Dana removes the colored envelope from her purse, opens it.
I asked my parents never to send anything after I left, but they did. Frequently. All these years, I never opened any of them, though. I don't know why I didn't know.
Dana takes the picture out of the envelope.
I told them after I left I never wanted to talk about it.
She pushes the picture across the table to Ada. Ada picks it up. Close on a school picture of a little girl. She's about 8 years old and has Down syndrome. Ada studies the picture, then looks at Dana.
This is your child?
I haven't seen her in almost 8 years, since she was 5 months old. She was born with a hole in her heart, as common for babies with Down syndrome. The pregnancy wasn't planned. I was 29, and my fiance, Chris, had started his career, and I was just about done with law school. Those first few months were just a blur. Doctor's appointments and tests and people constantly in and out, and I was still trying to study in the midst of all of it so I could graduate. Pretending I could keep it all together, and that everything was just perfect.
Dana takes a sip of tea.
Chris was so thrilled to be a dad. He was an only child, adopted, and a family was everything to him. He didn't seem at all concerned about her disability. She was just his beautiful little girl. And it made me feel like something was wrong with me for feeling so cheated.
Insert hospital room, flashback. Dana stands in a back corner of the room. Her fiance, Chris, early 30s, bends over the bed, strokes the hair of a baby girl as a nurse removes wires and tubes from her. A doctor speaks to Dana and Chris. Chris nods at the doctor. Dana stares off into space, chews a nail. The nurse smiles at Chris and wheels the baby out of the room. Chris and the doctor follow. Dana remains rooted. She looks around the room at all the cards, flowers, and stuffed animals. Her gaze lifts to a floating bouquet of get well balloons. Dana crosses over to the window, takes a small stuffed cat, and walks out. Back to scene. Dana stares into her cup.
I sat there in the waiting room while she was having surgery and thought, maybe she'll die. Maybe she'd be better off. Maybe I'd be better off. Like, what kind of person has those thoughts about their own baby? I wasn't worthy of being a mother, and I felt guilty and ashamed and lost. I was angry at myself and angry at Chris because he seems so unaffected by it all. And I really needed someone to talk to, like someone who would tell me it was okay to feel this way. Someone who wouldn't judge me for wanting back the life I'd lost.
Dana looks up at Ada.
But I didn't have that. So I just walked out. I walked out of that hospital and I never went back. Not to see if my daughter survived, even to see my parents again. I couldn't face anyone. I was a coward, a failure as a mother, and as far from perfect as I could possibly get. I didn't know how to love my own daughter, and here I've been in court trying to judge you. I'm so sorry, Ada. I don't know why I put you through this. I think I wanted so desperately to prove leaving your child to someone else was the right thing to do because it meant that I made the right choice too.
Ada closes her eyes. Insert continuous. Ada sees herself standing side by side with adult Teddy as he lets a yellow balloon drift up towards the shining sun. Back to scene. Ada opens her eyes, looks closely at Dana.
There is an enormous sense of loss that comes with being the parent of a child with a disability. It never fades. But in time, you learn to live with it. Life grows in and up and around it, even though it waits below the surface and it bubbles up just when you think you've forgotten it. But that part of you that feels that pain, or confusion, or resentment, that's the same part of you that feels love and tenderness and care.
She picks up the picture, looks at it, and puts it back on the table and slides it over to Dana.
Not all choices are permanent.
She removes her hand from the picture and places it on top of one of Dana's.
Do you realize in telling me your story, not once did you ever speak your daughter's name?
Dana looks at the picture.
Maddie.
Dana looks up at her.
Her name is Maddie.
Her eyes well with tears. Interior Dana's office, day. Dana reads at her desk. She is dressed in court attire. The desk phone rings. She picks it up, listens.
I'm on my way down.
She hangs up, grabs her briefcase, yells as she hurries out.
Carter, verdict's in.
Her door slams shut. Exterior Ada's backyard, day. The sliding glass door opens from inside. Ada steps out into the brilliant sunshine. Teddy beckons to her from the garden. Interior courtroom, day. Everyone is present except for Alexis and Ada. Dana glances over at the empty defense table and checks her watch. Alexis enters the courtroom, walks to the front. Her usual energy is missing.
Permission to approach, Your Honor.
Counselors approach.
Dana joins Alexis in front of the bench. Alexis speaks in a low voice. The judge nods. Dana and Alexis return to their seats.
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, thank you for your service. This case has been dismissed and you are hereby released from duty.
There's a murmur about the courtroom. The jurors look at one another confused, gather themselves to leave. Dana approaches Alexis.
When did she die?
Sometime last night. An autopsy's pending, but she'd probably been ill for several months. She knew it was her time.
Was she alone?
Not completely. She was in the garden. Looked like she had just laid down and went to sleep. In a big, hollowed-out spot, a little bigger than she was. Where Teddy used to lay.
I just saw her.
Alexis gives her a questioning look.
I'm sorry, I didn't offer you a deal.
Alexis nods and walks away. The last jury member steps down from the jury box. Dana calls out.
Wait!
She rushes over.
What was the verdict?
Exterior Ada's backyard, day. Ada and Teddy lie side by side in the dirt, hold hands. They watch a yellow balloon lift higher and higher into the blue sky. Exterior cemetery, day. Alexis and GINA stand by Ada's gravesite. A reverend reads from the Bible. Dana approaches but keeps her distance, stands off to one side. The Reverend finishes, the casket lowers into the ground. Alexis and Gina hug. Alexis notices Dana, says something to Gina, and breaks away. Dana watches as Alexis walks toward her.
I was hoping you'd be here.
She pulls an envelope out of her purse.
She left this for you.
Dana takes the envelope from her. Their eyes meet.
Take care, Dana.
Alexis rejoins Gina. They walk towards a waiting town car. Dana walks over to Ada's grave, takes a flower from a wreath.
Rest in peace, Ada.
She places the flower atop the casket. Interior, Dana's car, day. Dana sits, parked in front of Ada's house. There's a moving van in the driveway, a government car parked behind it. She watches movers load furniture into the van. Interior, Ada's living room, day. Dana enters from the front hallway, looks around the room. Moving boxes are everywhere, laden with Ada's possessions. She crosses to the piano, picks up a framed photo. Close on, a photo of young Ada holding Teddy as a toddler. A rare photo of both of them smiling into the camera. Sets the picture back on the piano, walks over to the sliding glass door, looks out at the garden. She opens the door. Exterior backyard, continuous. Dana steps out, glances around. Her eyes land on the hollowed-out spot in the garden. She crosses to the spot, kneels down, presses her hand to the earth, closes her eyes. A court-appointed administrator for Ada's estate appears in the doorway.
Can I help you?
Dana stands up, whirls around.
I'm from the DA's office.
The administrator just stares at Dana. Dana fishes in her purse, produces her credentials.
I need to finish some paperwork in regards to the legal proceedings. I won't be long.
The administrator peers at Dana's identification.
Take your time. We'll be sorting through this junk for a while.
Disappears back inside. Dana follows. Interior living room, continuous. Dana re-enters from the backyard. She takes the photo from the piano, looks at it, and brings it to her chest. She glances around the room one last time, walks to the front door, takes the photo with her. Interior, Dana's home office, night. Dana sits at her desk, Ada's unopened letter and the framed photograph she took from Ada's house in front of her. She opens the letter and reads. A range of emotions play across her face. She struggles to rein them in. Finally, she can no longer hold back and breaks down, sobs as she gets to the end of the letter. Interior, Dana's house, foyer, night. The front door opens. Ethan enters, hangs up his jacket. He hears crying, calls out.
Dana?
Hurries towards the back of the house. Interior, Dana's home office, continuous. Ethan rushes in, kneels in front of Dana's chair. Still clutching the letter, she dissolves in his arms. She clings to him as they sink to the floor. He rocks her. Close on Dana's laptop screen, open to a social media account for Christopher Moreland. There are multiple photos of a man with a young girl with Down syndrome. Exterior airport, day. Ethan's car pulls up in the departure lane, stops. Ethan exits the driver's side, steps back to the trunk, removes a suitcase. Dana exits the passenger side, stands on the curb. Her hair is loose, flowing, and she is dressed in a sundress and sandals. Ethan brings the suitcase to her. They kiss.
I love you.
I love you too.
She takes the suitcase, walks into the airport. Interior airplane, day. Dana boards the plane, finds her seat, settles herself. The flight crew prepares for takeoff. She leans back in her seat, pulls a small stuffed cat out of the pocket of her sweater, holds it in her lap, closes her eyes as the plane shuttles down the runway. Montage during Ada's voiceover. The plane lands. Dana walks through the airport. Dana rents a car. Dana drives through the suburbs. Dana pulls into the parking lot of a ball field.
When you're going to have a baby, it's like planning a fabulous trip to Italy. You buy a bunch of guidebooks and make your wonderful plans. After months of eager anticipation, the day arrives. You pack your bags and off you go. The stewardess comes in and says, "Welcome to Holland." Holland, you say? What do you mean, Holland? I'm supposed to be in Italy. All my life, I've dreamed of going to Italy. But there's been a change in the flight plan. They've landed in Holland, and there you must stay. The important thing thing is, they haven't taken you to a horrible, disgusting, filthy place. It's just a different place. So you must go out and buy new guidebooks. And you must learn a whole new language. And you will meet a whole new group of people you would have never met. It's slower paced than Italy, less flashy than Italy. But after you've been there for a while and you catch your breath, you look around and you begin to notice that Holland has windmills and Holland has tulips. Holland even has Rembrandts. But everyone you know is busy coming and going from Italy. And for the rest of your life, you will say, yes, that's where I was supposed to go. And the pain of that will never, ever, ever go away, because the loss of that dream is a very significant loss. But if you spend your life mourning the fact you didn't get to Italy, you may never be free to enjoy the very special, the very lovely things about Holland.
Exterior ball field, day. Softball game in progress. Challenger League for children with a range of special needs. Some kids are in wheelchairs, some cannot speak or see, but everyone is having a great time. Parents in the stands clap enthusiastically. Dana exits the rental car, watches the game. A big cheer erupts as a child gets a hit, and their buddy pushes the wheelchair to first base. She starts towards the stands. Behind the backstop, Chris kneels next to Maddie, 7. He sees Dana approach, stands up. As she gets closer, he puts a protective arm around Maddie. Dana stops a few feet away. Chris speaks to Maddie, then walks forward to Dana.
I didn't believe your mom when she said you were coming. You have no right to be here, not after all this time. What makes you think you can walk back in here like nothing happened?
Something did happen.
What does that mean? Why are you here? What do you want?
I made a mistake. A terrible mistake, because I didn't know who I was and I didn't believe in myself. I didn't think I could be a mother or a good one anyway, so I did what I thought was best for everyone. I failed you, and I failed our daughter. I don't expect you to forgive me.
She spots Maddie running towards them.
But maybe she can.
Maddie runs up to Chris.
Daddy! It's almost my turn.
Okay, sweetheart. I'll be right there.
Maddie looks at Dana.
Hi.
Hello.
Are you here to watch the game?
Dana looks at Chris.
Would that be all right?
Sure. Are you for the home team or the away team?
I think home.
That's my team.
She takes Dana's hand.
Come on. I'll show you where to sit.
She leads Dana towards the stands. Dana turns to look back at Chris, tears in her eyes. He puts up a hand and shakes his head as if to acquiesce, makes no move to stop them.
That's a really pretty dress. Your hair color is just like mine. Do you have any pets? We had 2 cats and a hamster. My name's Maddie. What's yours?
Chris watches them walk away. Fade out. The end.
Yeah, the emotional's good. Yeah, you guys got me too. So.
Thank you very much, everyone.